You're doing a sales consultation at your gym. You present the price, everything's going well, and then you hear the dreaded, I need to think about it. I need to think about it almost never means that they need to think about it. The same goes for it's too expensive, I need to talk to my spouse, or I'm busy right now. Those are often just surface level objections, and if you answer them at face value, you're gonna lose sales that you otherwise could have closed. Today, we're gonna show you how to uncover the real objection underneath what the prospect's actually saying, because once you solve that, getting them to become a member becomes much easier. I'm John Franklin, the CEO of Two Brain Business, the world's largest gym mentorship company, working with over 3,000 gym owners to help them hit six figures in profit. And joining me today is our founder, Chris Cooper. We're about to role play real objections that you get as a gym owner, and they're the most common ones. We're gonna give you practical responses that you can start using in your consultations today. So let's get into it. All right, Chris. So last episode, we role played a no sweat intro. I was a layup sale. You sold me no problem. But in reality, you're gonna get some type of objection. And what we see when gym owners get an objection is most likely like they say, okay, go ahead, go think about it. Or if it's a price objection, let me give you a discount. They cave. And so why is it important to practice objection handling?
Well, because you got to remember that your duty is just to help them take action in their life and commit. And if you let them go away to think about it, that's what they've been doing for the last 10 years, and they're not going to come back. You're allowing them to continue the bad habit that is making them sick. And it's the same thing with discounting. If they say, oh, I'm worried about the price, and you give them a discount, what you're not doing is coaching them to live up to your standard or meet the standard of everybody else in your gym. And aside from that, of course, you're also screwing all the other people who are paying full price.
And there's honestly only a handful of objections, so it's easy enough to role play and practice each of them. So the best closers, they handle objections in the amplify section. So the objections are handled before they even occur. But some people are programmed to be indecisive. Even if you're an amazing salesperson, they're still going to hit you with, I need to think about it. The reason a lot of gym owners don't want to handle objections is because they don't want to come off as pushy or salesy. What do you say to a gym owner that says that to you?
Well, this person is coming to you with the hope that you will coach them into the commitment required to change their lives. If left on their own, they will think about it and think about it and think about it for another decade and just get sicker and fatter and worse. And instead, they know deep down, and they hope deep down, that you have the caring accountability to actually get them to commit. And that's what your responsibility is as a coach, is to coach them into commitment.
You hit the nail on the head. You're not pressuring someone to buy. You just want to make a decision about something they said they already wanted. Now, we have a framework for handling objections. It's called the Pulse framework. The first thing we do when we get served an objection is we just pause, gives you time to think, gives them time to think. Then we want to understand, make sure we acknowledge what we heard and heard the correct thing. Then we want to locate the actual objection. A lot of times I need to think about it or some type of spousal objection is a smokescreen for something else. We want to help them solve the objection and then finally end with a decision. We don't want to leave the appointment with a maybe, a yes is fine, a no it's fine. There's a handful of objections we hear over and over again. I thought maybe we could role play some of them together. This is our final episode in a 4-part series all about gym sales. So if you want the exact frameworks and scripts we're talking about in this episode, along with other assets to help you convert more of your prospects at your gym, I want you to scan the QR code here or click the link down below to grab it.
So let's walk through some of these step by step. John, the one objection that most people will give is they try to get out of discomfort by buying themselves time. So they'll say, I need to think about it. What do you say if a client says that?
Chris, totally get it. I like to think through big decisions. What can I help with as you think through this decision here?
Well, I think the biggest piece for me is the financial one. I don't want to make that big of a commitment without talking to my wife first.
Okay, great. So I need to think about it is usually a smokescreen for some other objection.
So John, you and I just agreed that when somebody says, I need to think about it, it's usually a smokescreen to hide the real question. Let's move on to the most common real question, which is a spousal objection. How do you handle that?
So in the amplify phase, you want to ask if there's anybody else that's motivating them. Usually you'll have some type of spousal come up. In our no sweat intro, you told me that, your spouse didn't care. She was happy with the way you looked, which would trigger, oh, okay, I'm going to get a spousal later. In a situation like that, you want to make sure that they're clear on their goal, right? So I'd say, hey, totally get it. I got a wife too, would definitely want to consult her on any decision. Just to be clear, is she supportive of you losing 20 pounds?
She is, yeah.
And this is important to you?
To me, yeah.
Awesome. So why don't we do this? Why don't we get you signed up today? And then I'll give you a week to talk it over with your wife and get the okay from her. And if for whatever reason you guys aren't happy with the decision, we'll tear up the contract and part ways as friends.
Sure.
Okay. And then if you said no for whatever reason, that's fine, right?
Yeah.
You gave it a go.
Yeah.
Now, for those watching, this is the last video in a 4-part series. I did a mock no sweat intro with Chris, and he tried to sell me on a $900 a month personal training program. The most common objection you're going to get in something like that is pricing. And so we'll run through that one. So you told me it's $900 a month. I'll say, that's a little more expensive than I was hoping to pay.
Yeah, I totally understand. Would it be easier for you if we broke those into biweekly payments?
To be honest, at $900 a month, that's simply just not in my budget right now.
Okay, no problem. So what I was talking about was the best case scenario for you. What we can do is look at a more budget-friendly option and then revisit in 90 days, make sure that you're still getting the best possible gains. So what I'm going to recommend then with your budget in mind is our semi-private program. What we'll do is we'll bring you into a room with 3 or 4 other people. You'll still have your private personalized program. I will still be there, and there will be 3 other people working on their program at the same time in the same room. I'll still be your coach. I'll still be around. You will have a little bit of autonomy to work through different exercises. But if you ever need a spot, a correction, and just somebody to talk to, I'll still be there. How's that sound?
Hey, I need a quick favor from you. Every year, Two Brain asks gym owners for their numbers, and we publish the results in a report called The State of the Industry. We've been doing this for 7 years now, and it's grown into the largest industry report and one of the largest data sets in fitness. Now, this is where you come in. The more gym owners who fill this report out, the more truthful the report is, and that's why we need your numbers. It only takes 3 minutes to fill out the survey, and if you fill it out, we're going to give you a report card that shows you where you stack up compared to the thousands of other gyms who are participating in the survey. So to do this, all you got to do is scan the QR code here or click the link down below. Thanks for helping us out. So this is why it's important to never project your budget onto the client. This client said that they preferred to work one-on-one and they wanted to lose 20 pounds. The fastest way to get there was one-on-one training. When they heard the $900 price, they got sticker shock and it wasn't in their budget. But Chris was able to downsell. And then if I said no to that, he could downsell again. If I said no to that, he could downsell again. And the prospect understands that it's a compromise. So Chris, let's move on to the next one.
Yep.
Consultation's going well. You give them the price and then they tell you, okay, let me start after summer, or I'm just too busy for this right now.
So that's everybody these days. Don't feel bad. And that's why we're a coaching gym, honestly. Selling a gym membership to people who can't make it doesn't appeal to me. So the way that we approach this is that I'm going to give you workouts to do. And if you can do them at my gym, wonderful. I'd love to see you. If you're going to be away traveling this week, I can give you workouts that you can do in your hotel room. Or we can find a gym that's near to where you'll be staying and I can get in contact with them about getting you into the gym. But either way, you will be able to complete your workout without interruption, even while you're on the road. We have lots of clients who do this.
So the reality is a too busy or traveling is some type of delay objection. Chris did a good job of reframing it and hitting it from another angle. Another common one that comes up is something along the lines of, I don't think this is going to work for me, or I've been burnt before. Chris, you actually told me an example from an actual NSI sheet we saw in your pricing binder.
Yeah, this is a woman who came in within the last week, and I'm reading the coach's notes, and it's basically she's tried a bunch of different things. Each thing worked a little bit. Right here it says 10 years ago I did power walking. I lost 35 pounds. But she quits over time. And so she's worried that the gym is not going to work for her. Like it's going to be all these other times all over again, and she's going to waste time and money. And so the way that I often handle that objection is just to say, me too. And that's why we take the best of a bunch of different disciplines. We combine them in a different way every day. So it always feels like something new and it's super fun. And honestly, that's why there's members who have been here for 20 years.
And another way you can go about doing something like that is just asking, hey, you did power walking. Was there coaching involved?
Yeah.
Was somebody holding your hand?
No.
You mentioned you went to XYZ Globo gym down the street, were you working with somebody, or did you have to think about the workouts when you went into the gym every single time?
She even says that I show up and I do my own thing and then I don't go, and I joined gyms before and I never show up.
So the idea here is just to separate that and show why your program is different and why this time it's going to work for them. So your homework for this week is to practice handling the most common gym objections, so when you get them, you don't freeze up. And if you are a gym owner who struggles with selling or charging what you're worth, it's one of the most common complaints we hear from people who book calls with Two Brain. And it's one of the first things we handle when you sign up for mentorship. We completely rebuild your sales process, and you actually role play like Chris and I are doing here with your mentor, so you feel confident charging the correct rate for your business and your lifestyle goals. So if that sounds good, what I want you to do is scan the QR code or click the link below to book a call to talk to somebody on our team.